Hey guys, I'm back. Welcome to Sarah's Perfect Paws. Today we are grooming Mr. Hugo, and he is a Bernese Mountain Dog. He is pretty big. So, so like I normally do, I'm going to do all of his prep work, do nails, clean his ears, freshen his breath and all that before the bathtub. He really doesn't like grooming, so he's a little bit, nervous and stuff. So yeah, this is Hugo. Come on, Hugo, let's go. Come on. Come on. Let me get the leash real quick. Oh. Hugo. All right, let's get your nails done, bud. Hugo. Come on, don't be shy. Come on. Good boy. Oh. Stay. Can you see him? Mr. Hugo. Oh, you know you want a bath. You know you want a bath. Come here. All right, let's turn. Can we turn? Good boy. Good boy. And since he's a little bit wiggly, and dogs don't like their nails being done most of the time, I just go ahead and put on a little support around his bum bum. Let me put down this thing so you guys can see. My tripod. So you can see Mr. Hugo better. Stay there, Hugo. Stay, stay, stay. Okay. Hugo! See, this is... Stay. Wait. Stop. I hate this stupid thing when it does that. And his arms just kind of come down. I can make sure they're like super tight. Okay. Alright, so we're going to do his nails first. And I like to use Safari nail clippers. I think they do the best job. Raise you up a little bit. So yeah, he is a very big boy. He's very heavy. Very, very heavy. I mean, look how ginormous just this one paw is. I know, Hugo. Let me look at your nails. Let me see. All right, they're in good shape. Thank goodness. You don't have to take much off. Stay. Stay. There you go. One paw already done. Thank goodness. Let me see the other foot. Good boy. It's kind of a tight fit when you're mobile. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm constantly like bumping into myself, hitting my head, scraping my arms. You don't really think about the limited space until you're in it, working it. And in the summer months, it gets really, really hot in here fast. So I try to work as fast as I can, get the dogs dried as fast as I can, so they don't have to be out here any longer than necessary. One more paw, Hugo. You're being such a good boy. I'm doing all four at their house today. I'm doing Hugo, a Dalmatian, I'm doing 2 Weimaraners, and they usually are not thrilled about being groomed, so they're a little bit more difficult for me. Okay, hold on, Hugo. Alright, I'm just making sure that these nails are as short as they'll go. Hugo, let me get them a little bit better. Good boy. Good boy. Stay please. Stay please. Good boy. You're being such a good boy. Mr. Hugo. He really is a good boy. I like to make sure I get these nails absolutely as short as they'll go. Because I hate the questions of, are you sure you got the nails short enough? Are you sure? You know, so I like to buff them from the front like this to make them look as short as possible. Even, I mean, sometimes like if you don't do that, they are to the quick, but sometimes on the surface of the nail, they look a little longer. And that's when people start asking you, are you sure you got those nails short enough? So, I've learned that over the years. Alright, Hugo, let's get your ears clean. Sit. You gotta clean those heels. Alright, ear number 1, clean. Clean. Ear number 2. Ear number 2. Good boy, Hugo. You're so cute. Good boy. Freshen the breath. This is enzymatic mouthwash that cleans the teeth. Boop. So teeth is not like, say, one more time. Hugo, one more time. Come on. I know, it does not taste that bad. They are being so dramatic. Come on, one more time. Here we go, good boy. Being so dramatic, Hugo. Alright, so I'm going to get him in the bathtub, and I will see you there. Alright, that took some doing. Let's see here. He is a heavy boy. Heavy boy. Let's see here. So you can watch me wash him. There we go. There we go. Alright, still filming. Alright, so now it's bath time. We have the water heated up. We gotta turn the water pump on and turn the drain up. Hugo. So what's happening here is this truck is at an angle a little bit, and the water is not covering the super soaker drain, which is my bathing system inside this van. So I'm having to spray fresh water down the super soaker drain to kind of get some sort of shampoo on the coat, so I can, get him saturated faster. And then I like to put a little bit of shampoo in a mixer bottle here to continue lathering him in. But initially I like to get some shampoo down to the skin faster by using the super sudsor. Because this hand lathering stuff, I absolutely hate it because it's very time consuming compared to a bathing system. Shake it up a little bit. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake. Shake that shampoo bottle. Alright, so now I just kind of get it in the coat even more. So I can give him a good bath, because since he's a Bernese Mountain Dog, he's thick, double-coated, breed, so it takes a while to, get this coat completely saturated. Again, another reason why I like to use the bathing system, but any little slight incline or whatever, the truck doesn't work very well as far as the bathing system goes. So I have to do it this way when that happens. Right, Hugo? Right, Hugo? Say. Turn him around. Let's turn. No. Okay, good boy. Whew. He keeps trying to jump out. He he keeps trying to jump out every time I turn him, and I'm like so scared because he's so heavy, and if he jumps, like, I'm not going to be able to, like, hold him back, you know? So, like, I have to, like, use my body to prevent him from jumping out. Good boy. Oh, now the super subject's working pretty good. This is a good boy. Good boy, Hugo. Stay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're all right. Good boy. He's a very nervous boy. And I just like to, keep him calm, because if he panics, then he's going to try to jump, and I just can't deal with this kind of body weight being thrown at me, you know? Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Stay. Hugo, don't panic. Alright? Don't panic. You're being a good boy. Alright? Could do a little bit better. Don't shake. Alright, so I'm going to finish washing him, and then I will see you during the drying process. Okay, so I've already knocked the water off of Hugo in the bathtub, so I'm going to move him onto the table now and completing the drying process on him. And it does take a while since he is a double-coated breed. But for a Bernese Mountain Dog, to be fair, he doesn't have as much coat as some of them do. So, alright, Hugo. Alright. Let's turn, okay? Turn. Hugo. Turn this way. Come on, turn. Good boy. I did it, y'all. I did it. Whew, I'm always nervous with him because he's so heavy. I'm always worried about possibly dropping a pup. You know? Alright, I'm going to continue drying him so you can see the drying process. Alright, let's see if you can see. Not the best video. I guess I'll just have to work down here. Alright. It's getting super hot in here, so I'm going to turn the air conditioning on for a bit. Alright, so we finally got Hugo dried and got a ton of hair out of him. Oh my gosh, look at all this hair on the floor. Yes, look. Oh my god, Hugo. Yeah, so yeah, we got a ton of hair out of him. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and do his paw pads and trim them up all over. We're just gonna clean all these stuff up real quick. Hugo slobbers everywhere. Still damp a little bit around his ear here. He absolutely hates the dryer around his face, so I'm hoping that by the time I'm done with his trimming up, that will be dried. I mean, it's like 95% dried, but I don't know. I'm kind of a stickler about that kind of stuff. I like the dog to be absolutely bone dry from nose to tail, right, Hugo? From nose to tail. I like him dry. Come on. sweat builds up around his neck. All this double coat takes forever when you're into mobile grooming dogs. And that's the thing I've learned about mobile is you have to be really, really fast. All right. In the shop, I had 4 hours for every dog that came in, and I worked on multiple dogs at one time, so it still felt a little bit hectic. But I feel as a mobile groomer, like, you have to be a lot faster than even in a shop. You really cannot waste time. Everything has to be done in a specific order so that you can maximize your time spent on each pet, because you're limited on energy. In a shop, you have unlimited electricity, unlimited water, so if you want to take 5 hours to groom a dog, like, that's great, you can do that, but in a mobile van you can't. So you learn that really quickly when you go mobile, especially if you have like an inverter or like clean energy type of vans. You don't have a generator, you really have to be careful. Stay, you can't waste time, right, Hugo? I'm just brushing him through before we get started on the little trimming that I do on him. Yep. All right, come on, Hugo. And since we already got his nails done, literally all I have left to do is his paw pads. Trim him up a little bit. He is done. So Hugo's probably like, thank goodness. He is not happy to see me pull up this morning because he knows he was gonna get wet. He knew he had been had. He knew there was no way out. But you needed this, Hugo. You needed it. And they do feel better afterwards, I think. Okay? Alright. We're going to trim his paw pads. And I use a 40 blade on the paw pads. This is my little Bravura 5-in-1. I think 40 blades do the best job. I only recommend like doing, especially if you're like a newer groomer or you're not very experienced with like doing this and you want to try it at home, I would only use a 40 blade on these little like 5-in-1 clippers. I wouldn't do like an actual blade on a clipper that's a 40, because the teeth spacing is a lot wider and you could potentially cut the dog a lot easier with those blades than this one. Thank you, though. Just more likely to have an accident. We don't want accidents, do we, Hugo? I know I don't. Stay, please. I like to skim these little hairs. Alright. Alright, paw pad looks good. Alright, paw pad done. So now for a little finishing touch, what I like to do is I like to take my thinning shears and I take the foot and kind of comb out. Of course, he doesn't have a lot of hair, but like on your Goldens and stuff, I just like to kind of neaten up the foot a little bit. Any like stray hairs and stuff, I just like to take that off. Again, just to neaten up the paw a little bit. Make them look a little bit more manicured. just neaten at the paw. All right, Hugo. All right, Hugo. All right. And the same thing on the other paw. Good boy, Hugo. You're such a good boy. He really is. You know, Bernese Mountain Dogs, they're high energy dogs. They're very strong. And, you know, if Hugo wanted to, he could really make my day miserable as far as having to hog tie him up and wrestle him around to try to get a bath done, but he's a pretty good boy, I have to admit. Alright, last paw. Good boy. That's another thing I really like about mobiles. I feel that the dogs are much better behaved typically because it's more that one-on-one attention. Whereas in a shop, there's all kinds of like other dogs barking and commotion going on that I feel adds to the chaos. And even a well-behaved dog can quickly become unruly in those type of environments. Or a dog that's unruly, behavior-wise, will become just like you can't handle them at all in those environments. You have to like send them home or just tell them you can't get it done. I hate doing that. Of course, that doesn't happen very often, but it has happened a couple of times with me. I have sent a couple dogs home over the years. But not very often. Right, Hugo? Alright, so since he's a double-coated breed, I do trim around, you know, his private areas, but I have found over the years that if you use a blade around, I just skim a little bit around the rectum. If you use a blade around their private areas, they can get super, super irritated and start breaking out, especially like Australian Shepherds and stuff. Safe to say, you're a good boy. You're a very good boy, Hugo. And they can break out into a rash. And yeah, that's not good. So what I do is I like to take my little 5-in-1 clipper and I like to put a guard comb attachment on it. And I just like to neaten up around the private areas that way. That way it's still like, so yeah, I like to take a little, you know, oh, come on, stop, don't do that. A little wall, 5-in-1, and then I put a little guard comb attachment on it. This is the 1/4 guard comb. And I like to go up in there and trim around the private areas that way. Stay, Hugo. You know, that way it's shorter, it's manicured, but it's not like gonna cause any kind of irritation. Yeah, I don't like getting any phone calls. Hey, my dog's irritated. He's really scratching and licking. So, just better safe than sorry. Stay, please. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to get this side. I'm going to get in front of you real quick. Alright. Hugo's. You're such a good boy. Alright, let me get in. This is, like I said, mobile is such a tight fit. You don't realize it until you're actually like doing it. You know, like this is literally 69 square feet in here. It's literally the size of a small closet. So, yeah. Be still leg, good boy. Perfect. Alright, move him slowly back this way. I hate the loud bang clicking noise it makes. See? Okay. So now, since we're not taking much off, I just, you know, take another little longer guard comb. This is a 3/8, and I just like to skim, just to neaten him up. You know, like his back area here. Stay, please. Just a little bit. Just neatening him up. Stay, please. Good boy. No, you don't want to get off the table. Oops. There we go. All right. Okay. And so I just neaten up these straight hairs underneath here to kind of make them look a little bit more manicured. Stay, Hugo. Same with his legs, just neatening everything up. See how nice he's looking? Everything's starting to become even. Yeah, that's what I like. Strap back on, and then I go to the other side and I do the same thing. Hold on, Hugo. We're gonna turn a little bit. Good boy. Good boy. All right. Good boy. All right, and I do the same thing I did on that side. I do on this side. You know, just neatening up his furnishings a little bit. Stay, Hugo. Don't get off the table. Stop. Hugo. Relax. Good boy. He was starting to lean off the side of the table. There we go. Hugo. Be a good boy. We're almost done. He's been such a good boy. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like, that's all I pretty much do with Hugo. So I'm going to vacuum up real quick, and then we will get him leashed up, and we'll take him back to his dad so we can get the other 3 dogs out. Now, I'm just going to film Hugo today. I'm not going to film the other 3 since they're short-haired, and they don't usually take me a whole long time. So we'll put some perfume on you. Okay. All right, so this is Hugo. Now you can see, you know, where I've cut, like, you know, I've trimmed there and on the legs, on the back end and stuff, and I trimmed up his feet. He is looking amazing. He's been bathed, brushed out, and a light outline trim. Hugo did amazing today. Hugo! Oh, no kiss today? I gotcha. All right, so I'm going to take him back to his dad. That is how you groom a Bernese Mountain Dog. So hopefully you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the bell notification when I upload new videos to my channel, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much.